Hi folks, how you doing? RussellTrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box, social media, mind, body, spirit, fitness, putting the healing back in health. Coming at you today with a mental video. This one's going to be on memory, how to improve your memory. What can we do? Simple tips and tricks. This one's going to be 4, 3, who knows? So the first one is just going to be, for me, I have difficulties remembering people's names. I mean, this is something that I've always struggled with in my life. And of course, the first thing is stop being so negative about it and have a positive attitude about it. And one of the first things they say is once they introduce yourself or themselves, don't just say, oh, hey, nice to meet you. So if someone comes up to you and says, hey, I'm Bill, how you doing? You're going to say, hey, Bill, nice to meet you. My name's Russell. First thing. But next, it's always just trying to figure out a characteristic or a trait about the person and match it with their name. So, and if you can make it rhyme, it's even better, kind of like Harry Larry. For me, when I get really, really tan, I turn red. When I'm out in the sun daily, every day, months at a time, then I turn red, so it could be like Red Russell, Big Ben, something like that. So it's just trying to figure out something you can associate their name with. A characteristic or a trait of themselves. And sometimes you don't want to use clothing or their shoes because that will change day to day. But we need to figure out something, and tattoos are a good way that you can do that as well. Next would be for anything in general, whether it be directions to somebody's house or the house in general, anything trying to memorize. And it's going to be recalling it. So what you're going to do is, any type of fact even. So what you're going to do is 30 minutes after you've learned that, you're going to repeat it in your head. Then 6 hours later, you're going to bring it back up again. The next day, think about it. 3 days later, think about it. 6 days later, think about it. We've got to get out of that mindset of, we learn something and then we never think about it again until later. I think this is something that a lot of really intelligent people do well. They recall it throughout, the week, throughout the month. So they're always remembering it. And that's why they can remember these things. This is the same thing we can do with a name. Halfway through the party, someone might say, oh man, I really haven't met anybody. You can be like, oh, don't say I met that guy over there. Oh, that's Bill. I talked to him. He's a good guy. So it's always trying to recall what you've learned in time increments down the road. That's one that's going to help you. Next is, this is going to be for like these videos. If you watch these videos, you're reading a book, something like that, try to teach someone. Talk about it. Right? Because the majority of the time, once you learn something, you're going to try to apply it to real life. And if you haven't applied it in other areas of your life, sorry, that's my food I'm cooking. If you don't apply it to real life, you're going to struggle with it. So whether it's teaching or talking about it with your spouse, your child, a friend, that's something that you can do. And then the more you talk about it, the more you're actually going to understand it better. It's like they say, if you truly understand something, you should be able to explain it to a 5-year-old. Right? So the next one is going to be when it comes to reading. What can we do? Instead of just closing the book, throwing it down, walking off, doing whatever, close that book, sit there, take a couple minutes just to contemplate and try to recall and remember what you just read. What are you remembering? What aren't you remembering? Then you have a little know-how of, well, next time I read the book, or you can go back over that little spot, okay, just give it a quick run through. Oh yeah, that point was in there, that point was in there, those are the ones I forgot. Then you can get a better understanding of what you had just read. Once again, sorry, the video is almost over. And then, of course, it's just going to be diet and nutrition. If your body's beat down and not running correctly, how are you going to remember anything? Right? That's why we need to make sure that we're eating well, we're hydrated, vitamins and minerals, we're not nutrient deficient. And of course, the better the body runs, the better in general you're going to be in everyday activities. So once again, I'm going to end this video because of that beeping. So once again, I hope this helps. Subscribe to the channel, share and like these videos.